I'm Simon Kahn, here with my co-host Colin McDonough for your CHTV pregame show. Tonight's matchup is between the Centerville Elks and the Carmel Greyhounds, as the Elks are making the 2.5-hour trip from just outside of Dayton. Connell, let's get into it.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway we need to start with this game is this Carmel team. Coming into the game, they're 2-0 on the season, and that's not normal for this Carmel Greyhounds team. If they can win this, they're going to be 3-0, which is the first time they've been 3-0 since 2014, which just kind of shows what Coach Wright has done to this team and this offense that they've had. Simon, talk a little bit more about this offense.
Yeah, this offense was looking really, really good last week against the number 2 team in the state at the time, the Westfield Shamrocks. They actually beat the Shamrocks 34-10 as Anthony Koerner, the quarterback, threw 16 for 21, 176 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And then on the ground, he actually had 9 rushes, 52 yards, and a touchdown. He is the definition of a dual-threat quarterback.
Yeah, and that's been the success so far for this Greyhound offense is Koerner. He's making the right reads at the right time and making the right plays. The improvement that we've seen from him in the past year and a half has been insane. He's making the less risky plays and the smart plays when he needs to. But I think what we need to transition next is, and talking about this dual threat offense, is the running backs. Andrew Pemberton and Aiden Johnson. What have they done so far for this Greyhound team?
Yeah, both running backs have been really stellar. Specifically last game, Andrew Pemberton had 14 rushes for 112 yards and a touchdown. While Johnson, he didn't have his best game, but he had 15 carries for 44 yards, and a touchdown as well. So both running backs have played really well so far this season.
Yeah, and I think kind of adding on to that, Pemberton starting to win that starting role over Johnson. And I mean, I think we're also seeing that in this wide receiving core with Bellin. Bellin on the season has 8 receptions, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The next closest is Dominic Shockley, who has 6 receptions for 137 yards. I think this Carmel offense is finally starting to find its stride, and the starters are starting to show who they are.
Yeah, and exactly. I also said that the defense is starting to find their stride as well. The defense in the first game against Fishers, at Fishers, gave up over 400 yards. Meanwhile, this last game against Westfield, they gave up less than 200 yards. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do tonight.
Yeah, I think Carmel's defensive improvement has been the best part of their season so far. They had allowed 260 yards against Fishers, 130 against Westfield. They halved the amount of yardage that they gave up, and I think that's going to be the success here and the key to success for Carmel.
Well, that'll do it for your CHTV pregame show. I've been Simon Kahn, along with my co-host, Colin McDonough. Let's send it to Brendan Melby and Xavier Knott.
I'm Brendan Melby alongside Xavier Knott here back at the Greyhound Stadium for Week 3 football. Tonight we have the Carmel Greyhounds versus the Centerville Elks. We are 1 minute away from kickoff. Xavier, what are you feeling about tonight's game?
I'm looking forward to seeing Carmel get out to their first 3-0 start since the 2014 season. Just last week, Carmel, after defeating Westfield, got out to their first 2-0 starts since the 21 season.
Yeah, to add on to that, Centerville, on the other hand, are off to an 0-2 start. They have a lot to prove off to a shaky start. It's going to be huge for them to get a win, getting it before falling 0-3. So a huge game for both teams. Greyhounds trying to get the first 3-0 start since 2014, as you said, and the Elks trying to prove that they still are competitors. As the Centerville Elks run out onto the field, preparing for the kickoff, it appears that the Carmel Greyhounds will be returning this kickoff. Unlike the Westfield game, it was the Shamrocks who started with the ball, and the Greyhounds forced a quick 3-and-out. So a little bit different here with the Greyhounds starting with the ball. So we'll see how they do, as it is Jake Bellin in the back looking to return this kick.
And if Carmel can start about the same as they did last week against the Shamrocks, they'll be in pretty good shape for this game. Just got to forget that third quarter where Westfield got a lot of momentum back, but that Grayson George interception brought it back to the Hounds side.
Yeah, absolutely. The Greyhounds are looking to take care of business in this game, hopefully staying on the gas, never giving the Elks even a chance to have hope. As here's the kickoff that start the game, off to the right and short, interesting kick, as that ball's returned by Aiden Johnson, who gets a decent gain out of it. It's tackled just shy of the 35-yard line, so solid start for the Greyhounds.
That was an interesting kick from the Elks. Wasn't really paying much attention to the kicker's foot. Maybe he misstepped or slipped a little bit, but that was not a very good kick to start the game off.
Yeah, I think it might have been planned, but not very well executed, as the Greyhounds have good field position to start the game. This ball is at the 32-yard line. As it is the senior quarterback. This is his third year starting for varsity, who's out here tonight for the Greyhounds. As Dom Shockley motions over, as this ball is handed off to Aiden Johnson, who returned that kick. He gets a solid gain out of that one.
Just like we said before the game last week, expect a heavy run-heavy offense from the Hounds. Andrew Pemberton got the first back-to-back 100-yard rush yard game for the Hounds since 2020.
Yeah, absolutely, as this was handed off to Johnson again, who's able to get the first down. So as you were talking about Andrew Pemberton, another great running back for the Greyhounds. This time, it's a sophomore, Aiden Johnson, starting for them, who is also a great player. They tend to split carries majority of the time as they fake the handoff this time. A little play action as he airs this ball out, and it is a 50-50 ball, and they call it incomplete. It looked like Jake Bellin had both hands on that, battling with the DB for that ball.
I mean, throws don't get very much more 50-50 than that one did. It looked like it landed in Bellin's hands, and the defender went in and ripped the ball away, forcing an incompletion.
It looked like they caught that ball at the same time. I was worried about it getting picked off, but then I was hoping that Bellin would come down with that one.
The Elks defender came up off the ground with the ball, but the sideline official ruled it incomplete.
Yeah, probably the right call there. As Koerner takes a snap, another fake handoff, rolls out to the left and makes a completion. Just shy of the first down. That ball is caught by Ben Deasing, the junior 6'1" tight end. I believe that is his first reception of the season. As this ball is handed off to Aiden Johnson, this one doesn't go as well, as he stopped short, able to get a couple yards while falling down, but this brings up 4th and 2. Greyhounds in 4th down territory, looking to the sideline, seeing if they're going to go for it, which it appears they will. So a huge play to start the drive and the game for the Greyhounds. As there is a flag on the field, it appears this one's going to be on Centerville. At least Bellin believes it is.
Offsides.
Offside, so this is going to be a Carmel Greyhounds first down.
Bad, that's an awful error from Centerville. They've got Carmel in a 4th and 2 around midfield and give them a free first down on their first drive of the game.
Yeah, Greyhounds are typically good at those short 3rd down and 4th downs, but you at least want to get a chance to stop them. Centerville could have started with good field position, instead give up the first down. Koerner takes a snap. Throws it to his right. Dom Shockley running with the ball. He has some room as he's pushed out of bounds. Good play there by the Greyhounds. As that is Shockley with the first down. Oh, I'm sorry, 2nd and 2 on this. Just shy of the first. As this ball is handed off to Pemberton this time. That's good for a first down. The Greyhounds are moving fast right now.
Boy, they don't look like they do not want to slow down this game already. They've run 7 plays so far in this game, not even 2 minutes in.
Absolutely, all over the place right now. Just snap, get set at the line, and snap it again. Seems to have been the game plan for majority of this drive as they huddle up here. Still a quick huddle, 20 seconds on the play clock. It's Koerner. Hard count a couple times. Pemberton behind him in the backfield. As there's a whistle as he hands that ball off to Pemberton. Appears that there is going to be a neutral zone infraction by the Centerville Elks. Couple flags early for them as this brings 1st and 5.
Already the second one of those for the Elks on the night. First one gave Carmel a free first down. Now it gives them a short down to distance.
Yeah, a few free yards always helps as the Greyhounds are using it to their advantage and driving in scoring position right now. As this one is fake handoff to Pemberton. Koerner is going to take it for himself and run it down the right sideline into the end zone. The Greyhounds 6, Centerville 0. A great start for the Greyhounds as Koerner runs that ball in for his own touchdown.
That looked an awful lot like the play that Carmel ran against Westfield last week. That resulted in almost the same the same length of the run Carmel ran against Westfield. Koerner does a great job of holding, leaving the ball in the running back's hands, and then taking it, running to the outside for a 26-yard touchdown run.
As Obermeyer's out for the extra point, that is good. So the Greyhounds take an early 7-0 lead. And yet to add on to that play, I mean, they love that play. Koerner, not only can he throw the ball, which we saw a little bit that drive, he could run it, which we just saw for the 26-yard touchdown by Anthony Koerner.
Koerner has over 300 yards passing on the season, but also has 150 rush yards and multiple touchdowns. Definitely a dual threat quarterback that Elks need to contain.
Yeah, that was a great time to do it as well after the offsides by Centerville. The initial play was to run it to Pemberton, so when they went back to that fake, the defense absolutely collapsed all over Pemberton as there was no one to beat for Koerner down the right side. Well-designed play that the Greyhounds like to use often.
Hounds are about to kick the ball away for the first possession for the Elks with 9 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first quarter of the game.
Correct, as it is Ryan Swanson returning the ball for the Elks. So now we're gonna see a look at the Centerville Elks offense that has been, you could say, interesting this season.
Certainly have an interesting box score from their last game against St. Xavier. The quarterback only 2 for 12 on the night. Really only had one completion, as one of them was only for 0 yards. And the one completion they did have was a 28-yard touchdown, their only score of the game.
As this ball is taken for a touchback.
Centerville will begin their drive 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
But yeah, Shane Cole committed to Youngstown College. As you said, only 2 completions, 2 of 12 and only 28 yards. The only other completion was for 0 yards.
Wow.
So it's a little interesting how we're going to see him do tonight. He is mobile as well. He had 8 rushing attempts and was able to get 62 yards. So expect to see Cole use his legs tonight, as well as they have a couple solid running backs as Parker Johnson had 30 yards last game.
The Elks had less than 120 total yards in the game. Not exactly the offensive output you want.
Centerville only gets a 1-yard gain out of that one. The Greyhounds defense has proven to be so strong this season. Big help from Dane Bathurst, the Duke commit that transferred from Florida. He's in his senior year now. As Cole takes this snap, he hands it off to Johnson. Johnson nowhere to run as he's tackled by multiple blue jerseys again.
First 2 runs of the game for Centerville, and they have had absolutely nowhere to go through the line of scrimmage.
Dickerson seemed to get in there quick. He's great for the rush defense.
With the tackle, Greyhounds fan,
As it is an early 3rd down, 3rd and 8, the Greyhounds trying to force an early punt as the student section is fired up again, as they always are for the 3rd downs. The defense communicating right now, trying to figure out who to guard, where to be. As Cole takes the snap, throws it up the middle, and it is caught. A great catch there by Centerville. That is wide receiver Josh Becker, the only receiver to get a catch in that previous game versus St. Xavier.
Well, third play of the game, and they've already tied their total completions for positive yards as they did last game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cole is a solid quarterback. Probably a rough game. I expect him to have a better one tonight as he is trying to redeem himself, but he drops this snap. It appears that he's able to recover it, but certainly not helpful for them as this brings up second and 13.
Looks like their running back took off a little too early, about when the snap was coming out, went across Cole's face and knocked the ball out of his hands, but fortunate for Centerville, Cole jumped on the ball to recover it.
Yeah, certainly a lot of confusion there as it appeared Cole cocked it back to throw when Johnson got in the way.
4-yard loss on the play as well.
Yeah, second and 14 we have. As Cole takes this snap, looks to his right, launches that ball up, incomplete. Hit the hands of Zaire Alston, who plays offense and defense for the Elks as he is only a junior.
He had Austin a little bit open, but just an overthrown ball. Austin can only get fingertips of his right hand on it on the right sideline.
Yeah, would have been a tough catch on the sideline. Again, a solid throw by Cole, though.
3rd and 14 for the Elks. 6:53 to go in the first.
Greyhounds trying to have a little bit better defense on this third down. This one a little bit longer, 3rd and 14. Elks have a far way to go if they want to get this first down.
It also looked like there was an ineligible man downfield on the last play. Penalty flag was thrown, but Greyhounds declined.
As they should, as I said, brings up 3rd and long. Cole back there with Johnson on his left hip. As he motions to the left side, brings 4 receivers on the left side as this ball is thrown short to Ryan Swanson, the senior, as they are stopped very short of the first down. The Greyhounds forcing an early punt.
Starting off the game exactly the same as they did against Westfield, but just in reverse. Got a stop and a score.
Yeah, great start by the Greyhounds, as they seem to have been doing throughout this season.
Short punt.
Yeah, Bellin didn't even go for that one. He just let that one land as Centerville's trying to blow the ball a little bit, wave it with their hands. Doesn't seem to work very well as this ball's at the 32.
Travis Wilbanks for the Elks punt team. Looks like he was waving his hand trying to get that ball to move a little further.
Yeah, I don't believe he got a whole lot of yards out of that one, but interesting strategy if you want to try it.
It's a little windy out here tonight, but not sure it's windy enough to move that ball. Keep making that ball roll on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. It might play a factor in these kicks, though. It was a little still there, but, I mean, in pregame, that wind was swirling all around.
We were losing papers all over the place.
As this is Pemberton to Koerner's right hip to start this drive. Koerner takes a snap, looks to his left, throws it, completes it, as that is taken down the left side for a first down. Carson Clark, the sophomore, with that reception. That is Clark's.
Flag on the play as well.
Oh, no. Hopefully this one's not on the Greyhounds after a solid play there for Clark's first reception. You'd hate to see that one get taken back.
All right.
As
I hate to see your first reception get annulled by a penalty.
Yeah, as neither team seemed to be sure what the flag is. Did it get... And the flag is on Centerville, so Carson Clark, sophomore wide receiver, his catch stays as the Greyhounds get a few extra yards out of it as well. Brings this to Centerville's 41-yard line. A lot of flags for the Elks early. Koerner takes this snap, looks to his right, and another whistle as that ball is caught by Jake Bellin, but will not count.
It's a third neutral zone infraction for the Centerville Elks already in the game. Not even 6 minutes in so far.
Yeah, so this brings up another 1st and 5. They can't stay on their half of the line of scrimmage.
Giving the Hounds free yards and free first down. It's not how you win football games.
Yeah, as the Greyhounds are driving again, as Koerner keeps this one again down the left side. And he is able to get a first down. Runs out of bounds on the left sideline, but gets a big gain out of it.
Looked like Koerner was going to get pushed out of bounds just around the first down marker, but was able to turn the corner and gain a couple more yards past the first down marker.
Yeah, he got 13 yards out of that. Way to take the outside as this one's handed off to Pemberton down the left side. He has some room to run, and he is in the end zone for a touchdown. The Greyhounds running all over Centerville's defense early into this game as Pemberton's good for the touchdown. Pemberton, such a strong running back. When he has some room to go, he will hit that hole, and he's able to get those big touchdown runs. That one, a 23-yard rushing touchdown. So 2 big rushing touchdowns for the Greyhounds early into this game. The first one by Koerner, that one by 22, Drew Pemberton, as Obermeyer is able to make his extra point, giving the Greyhounds a 14-0 lead early into the first, or halfway through the first quarter.
Not how you want to start for Centerville. Drove almost 2.5 hours to Carmel and already down 14. Just a little over 6 minutes into the game. Already 4 penalties on the Elks. One of them gave Carmel a first down on a 4th and 2 around midfield. Carmel scored a touchdown on the drive and just capped off their second drive of the game with another touchdown.
Yeah, it just shows how deep the Greyhounds offense is, with both their touchdowns being rushing, but a lot of yards gained by that wide receiving core. As we were talking about, Carson Clark with the reception. He's not even in there a whole bunch, but apologies, he actually did get a catch in that first game versus Fishers, that first away game. So it just shows how deep that core is when you have Dom Shockley, Spencer Sell, and Jacob Bellin, but you have sophomores that's going to be around here for a while. Carson Clark, who's already had a couple catches this season. As Obermeyer kicking it off again. He seems to put it deep in the end zone for a touchback, but this one in the corner this time as Centerville's toe tapping it. Zaire Alston is taken down around the 11-yard line. Unbelievable special teams there by the Greyhounds. As everyone's fired off, as Dane Bathurst is skipping, walking onto the field.
It's a pretty nice kick from Obermeyer. He kicked it all the way back to the left corner.
Yeah,
Austin might have been better off just letting it roll out of bounds or into the touchback.
Yeah, good way, fire up the team to start this drive. You say players, chest-bumping coaches right to the sideline. You see the defense having some pep in their step, running out there. As Cole takes a snap, hands it off again to Johnson. As he nowhere to run again, the Greyhounds defense is all over this rushing game so far.
The Greyhounds rush defense has been pretty stout the last 2 weeks, especially early in the game. Westfield went 4 and out on their first 4 drives. They did not get a ton of first 5-yard, 6-yard plays on first down, which really kept them in 3rd and longs.
Yeah, and the Greyhounds, good defense to start this game, as the Elks were able to get a long 3rd down conversion, but then after that they got stopped. Interesting play here as he pitches it off towards his left. Solid gain out from that play.
Little option. Cole runs to his left and then pitches it out to the running back. Gain of 9 on the play for the Elks.
Yeah, I thought Cole was gonna take that for himself, as we were talking about, as he could run the ball as well. Just pitches it off to his left that time. As this brings up 3rd and short, as they were shy of the first down. The Greyhounds looking to get a stop as they hand this ball off to Johnson, who is stopped, but might have been able to get the first down as he was contacted at the line of scrimmage. But it appears that he was able to get a couple yards out of it and was able to get the first down, so solid effort there by Johnson.
Johnson was first hit right at the line of scrimmage, but that Centerville offensive line did a good job of they kept pushing and didn't get it by much, but did get the first down. Run by Johnson here up the middle for about 6 yards on the play.
Second and 5 this brings up for the Centerville Elks.
Gain of 5 on the play.
So the Elks are now at the 28-yard line. They are yet to cross midfield, looking to do that here as they get their second first down of the game. Fakes the handoff to Johnson. He's scrambling around, grabbed by the ankles, but stays on his feet, throws off to the right. Almost intercepted. Greyhounds unable to bring that one down. That was Aiden Dickerson. Hit both his hands. He was frustrated that he wasn't able to bring that one down.
I mean, that looked like it hit Dickerson right in both his hands. Probably had to stretch out a little bit. Still a difficult catch. Probably wasn't expecting the ball to come right to his hands.
Yeah, quite the chaotic play as Cole was grabbed at his ankles and scrambling all around that pocket. So he was able to roll out to the right and attempt a throw. But it just results in an incomplete as this brings up 3rd and 5 as Johnson is taken down short of the first down. Greyhounds defense all over Johnson tonight.
4th and 1.
As he was able to get 4 yards out of that. Wow. So this brings up 4th and 1, but it still does appear that Centerville will take the smarter move and punt this one away.
Boy, Centerville able to get 1 first down. Oh.
Elks punt this one down the left sideline. This one short as well as it trickles out of bounds. That got a solid bounce.
Punt looked like that ball looked like it was sideways in the air.
Yeah, there's been a lot of interesting kicks so far.
Interesting kicking unit from the Elks.
Yeah, as they
straight sideways in the air.
Yeah, as that's the second short.
Bounce forward.
As that's the second short punt, as the kickoff was also a little wonky. Almost looked like a squibbish towards the left side that Aiden Johnson ended up returning. So if you guys have not noticed already, there was a new face on the Greyhounds defense. DB Michael Ghosh is starting tonight for the Carmel Greyhounds. He is in for Grayson George, who is unfortunately out tonight. He's getting an MRI because he is dealing with an injury. Koerner takes his snap, throws off to his left. That's Shockley with the reception, able to get the first down, and then an interesting tackle down the left side, grabbed him by the collar.
Looked like Shockley was pretty far out of bounds before he was dragged down by the collar over there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple.
There wasn't unnecessary roughness.
Couple things that could have been called there, but instead it's just a clean first down for the Greyhounds. As Koerner has Pemberton behind him. Koerner looking to his right side, moving around that pocket as he is tripped up and sacked. First good thing the Elks have got going for their defense.
Koerner dropped back, pocket collapsed, looked to step up, just nowhere to go. Looked like he tried to backpedal again, might have gotten his ankles tripped up. Ultimately fell down, a loss of 5 for the Hounds, 2nd and 15.
Koerner, typically good awareness. He was trying to find a gap where he could escape. Just Elks all around him as he was taken down for a loss of 5. So this brings up 2nd and 15 for the Greyhounds. Pemberton on his right side as well, again, as he throws this one off to the right. As this is a catch for a loss of yards, I believe.
D-Sting again.
Yeah, D-Sing,
Second
his
catch of the
second
game.
reception. That one for a loss of 2, though, so not exactly what the Greyhounds were looking for when throwing it back to D-Sing. So the Greyhounds, 3rd and long, 3rd and 17. Koerner needs to make something happen here as Johnson subs in for Pemberton. He has Sell and Shockley lined up on the left side as it's Belling by himself on the right. Koerner takes a snap, gets pressured. He finds a hole running for the first down, but he is going to be stopped short. A solid effort there. Got a big gain, but not enough for the first down.
Koerner did a good job of gaining back what he could on the play. Looked like linebacker Travis Wilbanks just burst through that line of scrimmage.
As he was
wasn't touched at all.
He was able to get 12 yards out of that one. So the Greyhounds set up looking like they were going to go for it on 4th down. Instead, the Elks jump once again.
Awful. It's just not good from the Elks. Go from 3rd and 17, 4th and 5, and jump off sides yet again. 4th time in the game so far.
So there was no guarantee that the Greyhounds were going to snap that ball, but with how often Centerville has been jumping, they lined up and they were able to get them to jump offside, so that makes the run huge for Koerner.
They've already jumped 3 times. Might as well line up and get them.
Koerner hands this ball off to Johnson. Johnson nowhere to run as he's taken down for a gain of 1 yard. Johnson always seems to get some yards after contact. That time, not so much, but he always seems to fall forward. He's always battling, trying to get as many yards as possible.
Fights for every yard as much as he can.
Absolutely, as the Greyhounds are going to take this one to the 2nd quarter. So the Greyhounds just on the edge of scoring territory again as they have the early 14-0 lead versus the Centerville Elks.
Fast first quarter.
Yeah, definitely.
Less than 30 minutes real time.
Definitely going in the Greyhounds' favor so far, though. They're on pace to have a high-scoring game if they keep this up for how weirdly short it did feel.
2 stops, 2 scores, touchdown on both. Centerville only 2 first downs in the game so far.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, as the Greyhounds were starting that drive, Michael Ghosh starting for DB.
Member of our own CHTV.
Yeah, I was just about to say CHTV very own, but it is unfortunate that Grayson George will be out tonight because if you remember, in that game versus the Shamrocks last week, the Greyhounds had a fantastic first half, go up 20-0 at halftime. Then the Elks started to change the momentum. They had a solid 3rd quarter, made it 20-10. They were driving again as they took a shot, as Grabowski took a shot for the end zone. Grayson George, a great read on that one, able to get the interception and flip the momentum, which ultimately gave the Greyhounds a fuel and the ball needed to finish that game and get the win.
Another penalty flag on the ground.
Yeah, first play of the quarter, another flag as that ball was handed off to Johnson. Another offsides for Centerville.
Boys,
oh my goodness.
6 already in the game? That is unheard of.
I mean, Greyhounds offense looks good right now, but Centerville's defense just keeps on giving them free yards, which cannot be helping their odds of getting a stop. As this ball handed off again to Johnson, as he's able to get a few yards out of that one. Just shy of the first down as that was a short 1st and 5. Able to get 4 yards out of that one, so this brings up 2nd and 2.
Centerville continues to give Carmel short down situations. Already their 3rd 1st and 5 of the game. 2nd and 2 for the Hounds.
As the Greyhounds have trips on the right side, as I talked about the 3 main receivers, Bell, Sell, and Shockley, as this one's just handed off to Johnson. Again, he's able to get the first down on that one as he's pushed by some linemen as well, trying to get as many yards as possible. That whistle wasn't blown until he was all the way down. There was a big crowd around there, but they let him fight it out.
Johnson got met just kind of as he broke through the first down marker, and then that offensive line gathered around that pile and continued to push him, gain him about another yard or two.
Greyhounds a great game plan so far in this game, able to get the first downs, but also capitalize on the big plays in the right moments as Shockley's moving a little bit around before the snap. Koerner looking to throw. He takes a shot at the end zone for Bellin as that is caught deep in the end zone by Jake Bellin. Koerner moving around the pocket, rolls out to the left as he sees his main man, Jake Bellin, deep in the end zone coming across the left side.
Koerner was forced to roll out to his left, rolled out about 5 yards, looked like he might take it and just run it for a short game, but threw a cross back to the middle of the field, had Jake Bellin open on the R in the Carmel end zone.
Yeah, as I mentioned, the Greyhounds able to capitalize on those big moments when they had the opportunity. That was a slow drive the whole time. I mean, they had a 3rd and 17. Koerner able to get a 12-yard run and then another offsides for the Elks, which gave the Greyhounds another life. The Greyhounds continue to drive down and got the big opportunity. Airs one out for 20-plus yards to Jake Bellin.
I imagine this probably isn't how Centerville wanted to start this game. They have been pretty undisciplined on the defensive line so far. Keep giving Carmel short first downs, give them 3 fourth downs twice already in the game, a 4th and 2 and a 4th and 5. It just can't continue to happen if the Elks want to come back in this game.
Yeah, Centerville, a lot to prove as they went to the semifinals last year, and so far not off to a good start, going 0-2 and down big, down early in this game. So
these two played last year in the Centerville, Carmel coming out on top. Centerville didn't start out the year too well either last year, but rebounded, and like you said, made the semifinals in the largest class in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, so unless they're gonna dig themselves out of a hole for this slow start to the season, they're gonna need to flip the switch soon in this game. As the Elks have 3 people back there for a possibility to return this kick, as this one goes off to number 14, Burleson, the senior, as he takes that one down the left. A solid return. This is close to the furthest the Elks have been able to get all game.
They have not gotten really anything going on the ground. They've had a couple completions, but haven't really been for any big yardage plays. Gonna have to get that offense going. Points aren't just gonna magically appear.
Yeah, Centerville, 2 first downs, which isn't terrible, but 1 each drive, and then the set of downs right after that, they had to punt it away. So third down in every set of downs as well. Their 2 first downs were both 3rd down conversion. So trying to get off to an early start of the set of downs as this ball's handed off to Johnson, who's able to get a 4 or 5 yard gain. Johnson, 13 carries in the game against St. X last week. This time, he's already up to a whole lot. They seem to be handing off to him a lot. Shane Cole doesn't seem to throw the ball up, but this time it looks like he's going to, as he's able to get a completion there again. Oh wait, no, that time it was Colton Burleson, the person who returned that, as he's able to get a catch for the Elks as they get another first down. So first down each drive for Centerville. This time they're trying to capitalize on this one, hopefully get a couple more.
Said Centerville's largest offensive gain of the game so far.
As this time, Zaire Alston is tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Ran a little jet sweep for Austin, got out past the end on the left side, and absolutely swallowed up at the line. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Elks.
That time it was Will Massey who was in there early at Austin, able to get the tackle by himself. So this brings up 2nd and 10 for the Elks as Cole pitches this one forward. Couple yard gain there. That ball was pitched forward to Swanson, who they've done a couple times. I mean, most of the time Swanson's gained those touches. It's off some interesting pitches.
They gained a decent amount of yards down in the south end zone on kind of that same play, a little Cole sprint right option, but did not work that time.
This brings up 3rd and 9 for Centerville, trying to get a 3rd down conversion as Cole drops back, looking to throw. He's pressured. This ball completed for the 1st down. That time, it's the junior Chase Carlson with the reception. So the Elks, a solid drive so far.
But St. Xavier defense really must have stuffed that Elks passing game. Already got multiple more completions already in this game than they did last week.
Absolutely, using all different kinds of players as well, which we have not seen this season from the Elks, as Johnson gets possibly his best run of the night up the middle. 7-yard gain there by Johnson as he was able to find a small hole.
Definitely Centerville's most promising looking drive so far at the Carmel 31. You would love to come away with a touchdown and at least cut this game down to only a 2-score lead.
Yeah, Cole taking control of this drive so far as he takes this snap, a double option again. He keeps this one, runs it up the middle, and he's able to get a 1st down out of that one. So there we see the legs that Cole does have. He can not only throw, but he can also run.
Looked like maybe a little bit of a generous spot there for Cole. I didn't really think he got the 1st down. Looked like he fell a yard short.
Again, with the construction, we do not have the greatest angle on it, but he went up the middle and was hit pretty short. But
I'm sure the sideline official had a better view than we do.
They do have a better view than we do. So we're just gonna have to take their word, and the call is a 1st down as this ball is handed off to Johnson. Bathurst in there early. He's taken down by multiple Greyhounds for a 3-yard gain.
Carmel's forced Centerville into multiple plays for loss, but have not picked up a sack in the game so far yet. Dane Bathurst leads the Hounds with 4 sacks on the season, has not recorded one yet in the game tonight.
Yeah, Dane Bathurst was all over the place in the game against the Shamrocks. This time, he's been a little quiet. It's still early, 6 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. This time, Cole's looking to throw, pressured again as he airs that one up. Incomplete. Goes back to Swanson. That ball too far out of bounds. I'm not even sure Swanson saw it coming. He put up his head and then the ball was landing next to him out of bounds.
Boy, it looked like Swanson was expecting the ball to come over his left shoulder and looked in the air and had to turn around and try to adjust to catch the ball.
Yeah, a bit of
not a very good throw from Cole.
Yeah, which is tough to do when the Greyhounds are constantly in there pressuring him, so I will give him credit for that, as this time he's scrambling around and he is taken down by the Greyhounds on 3rd down. Bathurst in there for the tackle, as well as number 58, Eli Dalton, got a piece of that tackle. So now Centerville is going to try to put some points on the board. They're going to go for the field goal, 39-yarder.
Timeout, Centerville. Centerville possibly might have called that timeout to bring the players over, discuss maybe they want to go for it on 4th down. They are down 21 points. 7's better than 3.
Yeah, anything could happen when you go down this big early. You have to toy with things a little bit, and they're having their best drive this game, so you'd hate to come up short and get 0 if you're unable to get the 4th down conversion. But a 39-yarder isn't a gimme either, so.
Definitely don't want to come up short with 0 points here. Depends on how much trust you have in your offense to get this 4th and 5 against the Hounds defense that prior to this drive had been and still is really stout.
Yeah, this is Joey Christbaum,
Would be about
their kicker.
Would be about a 35-yard field goal if they did attempt. Does not appear that they're going to.
Yeah, it appears that they're going to go for it on 4th down as Christbaum ran out there a little bit and then turned back to the sideline, unaware if he was sure what was going on or if it was to just mess with the Greyhounds a little bit. But looks like Centerville is going to go for it on 4th down as Cole's looking for a man open as he has no one. Pressured again. That ball is incomplete. The Greyhounds with a 4th down stop. The Greyhounds still hold Centerville to 0 points.
Well, it looked like Cole had Johnson open a little sooner. Probably should have gotten rid of the ball a little quicker. Held on for it too long. Got hit a little, fell back. Ball was short. Johnson was pretty open at the beginning of the play. He was far enough to get the 1st down, but ball came up short.
Yeah, after watching a little bit of Shane Cole in those previous games, I noticed that he is much more efficient when he is out of the pocket, when he gets the good read, able to roll out the pocket and has more space. In the pocket, he seems a little rattled, looks for somewhere to go. If he doesn't have anywhere to go, he seems to struggle a little bit. As there's another flag, this time it will be on the Carmel Greyhounds for a false start. So a little bit different than what we've typically seen on those flags before the snap, this time on the Greyhounds, as this brings up 1st and 15. Koerner looking to the sideline, trying to figure out the play, as it appears majority of the team is looking towards the sideline. Pemberton moving around in the backfield. He hands this one off to Pemberton, who jukes around a little bit, able to get a few yards out of that one. For not very many places to go and not a huge hole, Pemberton a good job of dancing around there and able to get as many yards as he did.
Gain of 12. A longer run than it looked like from
Wow, it appears it was a gain of 12 as this ball is aired up to Bellin.
What a throw, what a catch. Bellin tight rope in that sideline, makes a wonderful catch. Gain of 22 on the play for the Hounds.
Could not have said it better, as Koerner couldn't have put it in a better spot. Bellin, a great job as well, getting both hands on that ball, bringing it down and keeping his feet in bounds as they go back to Bellin. This time on Zaire Alston's head. Bellin jumps up towards the clouds, gets both hands on that ball and brings it down.
Boy, that looked an awful lot like the 50-50 ball Koerner threw to Bellin at the very beginning of the game. That was an incompletion. 2 back-to-back.
A couple
really
similar
nice
ones to
grabs.
Bellin as Koerner throws again. This time it is caught for a touchdown. The Carmel Greyhounds, 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. Carson Clark, the sophomore wide receiver, with a touchdown. This is his first touchdown of the season as he hits a little celebration with his quarterback Koerner, who made another great throw. Now that time a faster drive by the Greyhounds.
Fastest drive of the game, scored in just over a minute and a half.
Threw it to the right to Bellin, threw it back to Bellin. This time goes with a little bit different receiver, Carson Clark, open in the middle of the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, Carmel out to the early and very, very commanding lead, 28-0, 4 minutes and 53 seconds to go. Centerville yet to stop the Hounds on a drive yet. Carmel hasn't punted.
Yeah, the Greyhounds full control of this game so far, as obviously their offense looks phenomenal, getting 28 points, 7 points in each drive this game, as the defense has looked solid as well, clearly holding Centerville to 0 points. The Elks keep their same formation for the kick return. It is Alston on the right side, Swanson in the middle, and then Burleson on the left side, who got the return last time. I want to see Obermeyer just boot one deep into the back of the end zone. Don't even give the Elks a chance to do something with it. As it is just at the front of the end zone, as Swanson's going to try to return this one, taken down short around the 18-yard line. So Swanson could have let that ball go. Instead, he tried to go for it, as that was a great kick by Obermeyer right at the front of the end zone.
Really, really nice tackle from Koerner coming down the left side. Austin looked like he wanted to cut back up the left. Koerner coming down, tripped him up, stopped him at the 19. Didn't really have much of an option besides catching that one. That was right at the front of the end zone.
Yeah, probably smarter, because if it did happen to bounce at the one and kick backwards, then they really would have been in trouble. But regardless, great special teams by the Greyhounds as Johnson runs this one towards the left side as he gets a solid gain out of that.
Tackle by 37, Chase Jarrett for the Hounds.
Chase Jarrett with the tackle there. Johnson still managing to get 8 yards out of that one. So this brings up 2nd and 2 for Centerville with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this half. So it's going to need to be a drive with a little bit of pace on it. As Johnson runs this ball up the middle, he has some room to run, gets a few yards after contact as well. That's good for a first down and more, as that's a 12-yard gain for Parker Johnson.
Centerville's longest rushing gain on the night so far.
It is a Centerville first down, ball to the 39-yard line.
So first down for Centerville as they're on the 39-yard line. Still ways to drive as Cole looking to run it, but then pitches it off to his left.
It's the same option play that they've been running. It's about the 3rd or 4th time that they've run it. Only gained 2 yards on the play. Elks with the ball. 3:38 left in the second quarter. Ball on the Elks' 41-yard line.
Yeah, they love that double option. They ran it a couple times, pitching it to Swanson. That time they pitched it to the running back Parker Johnson, as there's Swanson and Johnson in the backfield. Swanson motions over to the right, hands this ball off toward Johnson up the middle as he's tackled by multiple Greyhounds for a gain of 2 yards. So this brings up another 3rd down, 3rd and 6 for the Centerville Elks with only 3 minutes remaining in the half. That time continues to tick as the Greyhounds are looking to get another stop, maybe get a drive for their own. As Centerville has 2 timeouts, the Greyhounds still have all 3. As Cole takes this snap, looking to throw, throws it up the middle to the right as this ball is incomplete. That one targeted to the junior, Josh Becker, who's unable to bring it down. So this brings up 4th and 6. Centerville punting for the 3rd time tonight as the Greyhounds are gonna get another shot to have a drive before halftime.
The throw looked like it hit Becker right in the hands. Maybe he tried to run without catching the ball first, but another awful, pretty bad punt from Centerville.
Yeah. Not to be too harsh, but awful might be the word. I mean, we've mentioned it a few times, but that one off the side of his foot, straight out of bounds. It seems Centerville having a lot of problems tonight. So lot to clean up at halftime. Their main focus right now is just stopping Greyhounds from gaining any more points in this final 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Koerner, after having a great last drive, he's ready to put more points on the board.
Was Centerville D-line and the punting and kicking units don't look spectacular right now.
Yeah, as Koerner throws to his left. This one is Pemberton that has some room to run, cuts up the middle, is taken down. Andrew Pemberton, great for those checkdowns and those short passes as well, as he's great running the ball up the middle, hitting those holes, but that time 5 yards after the reception. So 5 more seconds before the 2-minute warning, so the Greyhounds get off the snap quickly, hand this ball up the middle to Pemberton, who is taken down for a short gain. So
Carmel going quick. Certainly look like they would love to get another touchdown on the board and go up 35-0.
yeah, Koerner throws this off to his right side to Bellin, who catches it and hits a little spin move. Good for the first down. Tackled around the 50-yard line. As the Greyhounds trying to move fast, not huddling. Clock stopped for a second. As Koerner takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson, again, gets a few yards after that contact. As interesting that they ran it, I was wondering if they were going to use one of their 3 timeouts, going with a handoff as a play call, but no, they're just trying to keep things moving after the 2-yard gain. So Koerner takes this snap, fakes the handoff to Johnson this time. He takes a shot for Dom Shockley, just barely overthrown. Shockley didn't have anyone near him besides Mason Boykin, who was a few yards behind him. If that ball was just a couple yards shorter, that would have been another touchdown for the Greyhounds.
Maybe a yard or 2 shorter and a little more to the left. That ball is going to plop right into Shockley's breadbasket for an easy touchdown for the Hounds.
Yeah, Koerner has been almost flawless tonight, so it's not unusual to see him mess up one, so I'll allow that. Linebacker jumping in the backfield, nothing called because he didn't cross the line of scrimmage. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining as Koerner takes this snap, hands it off for Johnson again, who takes a run up the middle. The Greyhounds still 3 timeouts remaining. They use one after letting about 6 or 7 seconds run down. But the Greyhounds are now going to talk things over with 53 seconds remaining as they are at Centerville's 43-yard line. So they have a chance to get a little more, but it is 4th and 6. So interesting what the Greyhounds are going to go with here. If they're unable to get it, it will still be tough for the Elks to drive down with only 53 seconds remaining. But if you punt it, you could almost confirm that the Elks are going to get 0 for the first half.
I like going for it. The Centerville offense really has not been impressive tonight. Even if you don't get it, with the way their offense has been moving tonight, 53 seconds on the 43, with how well their defense has played so far in the game, I like your chances.
Yeah, so it appears that they will go for it. Pemberton on Koerner's left hip as he has Sell and Shockley on the left side. Bellin and Deasing on the right as Shockley's motioning over to the right. Koerner takes a snap, looking to throw, looks towards left side, able to make possibly a completion to Sell. It looks like it will be. Great catch by Spencer Sell as he's fighting with the DB for the Elks for that one, but he gets that catch. As the clock continues to run, only 45 seconds remaining. The clock just continuing to tick. But Koerner looking to throw, rolling out towards the right side. He has some room to run, which he does towards the sideline, gets the first down. So Koerner, good heads-up play there. Didn't have anyone to throw to. He saw the room on the right side, got a lot of yards out of it, and able to get out of bounds, which stops the clock with 34 seconds remaining. Greyhounds still 2 timeouts remaining. As they are now at the 23-yard line, though, this drive will be a failure if they don't get anything out of this. So Greyhounds continuing to go for it. As there is a timeout for Centerville, wants to get their defense situated, trying to not let the Greyhounds get any more points for some damage control going into this half. as the Greyhounds are out on the field talking it over. 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds on the 23-yard line. As I said, 34 seconds remaining, 2 timeouts remaining. So they're in solid position right now to get possibly another touchdown, hopefully at least a field goal. As the Elks are done with their huddle, their defense runs out onto the field, as well as the Greyhounds. Pemberton on the sideline. It's going to be Johnson, Aiden, the sophomore Aiden Johnson, out there for this 1st and 10, who will be on Koerner's right hip, as there are trips again for the Greyhounds, as Koerner is looking for them, as he is pressured and taken down by number 34 for Centerville, Luke Mullinger, the senior. Great tackle there. Seems like a good timeout as well for the Elks if they're able to get a loss of 10 yards.
That pocket collapsed pretty darn quickly. Koerner did not have a ton of options to go for. They just trying to get back in a little closer into field goal range on this next play. Would be about a 43-yarder from where we currently stand.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier at the 23-yard line, now they're at the 33. So still a ways to go for the end zone, and also not an easy field goal by any means. So the Greyhounds are going to need to do a little bit damage control, redeem themselves a little bit from that down.
We know Obermeyer's got a pretty strong leg. I'd be willing to bet he can certainly get it there, whether or not he can get it through the uprights.
Absolutely, but the Greyhounds offense is going to try to help him out a little bit, as there's still 27 seconds remaining. They just used one of their timeouts, so they only have 1 remaining. As Pemberton's motioning over to the left as they throw to him towards the left side. He tries to run it up the middle, gets tackled at the 30-yard line. So he had an option to run it off to the sideline. Instead, try to cut up the middle, get a few more yards, but now there's only 10 seconds remaining. The Greyhounds need to call a timeout as the clock was running down and there's only 7 seconds remaining. So they have a choice to go for the 48-yard field goal, or just take a shot, or maybe try to get in one more play, throw it off to the side.
Looked like Carmel wanted to get up quickly and maybe run one more play on 3rd down and get a couple more yards, but weren't able to get to the line of scrimmage, and Carmel kind of forced to take an awkward timeout with 7.5 seconds left. There's still probably enough time to run one more play, but then you, with no timeouts remaining, you risk the ball getting tackled inbound and that clock running down to 0.
Yeah, unfortunately, being unable to get that snap off quick, all it did was have some time run down. That was about 10 seconds that ran off the clock. That would be huge for the Greyhounds right now, as it is 3rd and 17 at the 31-yard line with 7.5 seconds remaining. As I said, they have the choice, try to get short throw towards the sideline and hopefully catch it and then go out of bounds quickly. Or they could take a shot for the end zone. Try to get 7 more before halftime. As it's Johnson this time in the backfield. Koerner takes the snap. He's looking to throw. He takes the shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted. That ball bobbling around, but intercepted by the Elks as they're trying to return that one. Colton Burleson, tip drill, able to get the interception going into halftime.
I mean, it looked like it hit his hands, bounced off a defender. Another defender came over, hit his arm, spun around, caught it. Oh, no return, no worries for Carmel. Going into the half 28-0. It's a pretty nice feeling.
Yeah, I was ready to make the incomplete call, but I saw that ball just staying alive, bobbling around, waiting to see if something would happen. And Burleson taking advantage of that, able to get the interception to confirm that there's no time left. Going into halftime of the Greyhounds, still a great first half, even though they were unable to get any points on that drive that they had a strong start to, but the Greyhounds still remain up 28-0 versus the Centerville Elks.
I mean, if you thought Carmel had a good first half last week, 8 more points in the first half this week. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns until that final one where Koerner threw pretty unlucky interception, bounced off of 3 guys into someone's hands, but pretty good half for the Hounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we talked about in that Westfield game, the Greyhounds were up 20-0, but then things start to get a little shaky. The Shamrocks had a great third quarter, so I think the game plan for the second half for the Greyhounds is to stay on the gas. Don't let the Elks get anything going for them, as we will have a short break, then hand it over back to Connell and Simon, who will hand it back over to us for the second half. So we will see you then.
your marching Greyhounds.
Welcome to the CHTV halftime show. I'm Simon Kahn, here with my co-host, Colin McDonough. Connell, take us inside the game so far.
Yeah, Carmel going into the half up 28-0 on Centerville here, and their offense has been the main factor so far. I mean, they've scored on 6 out of their 7 drives, no pun intended. So the way that this offense is moving so far, 4 out of their first 6 drives, excuse me, they're up 28-0 here. So this offense has been the main part here for Carmel.
Yeah, that being said, the defense has also been stellar. It's not exactly like this Elks offense is spectacular, but at the end of the day, the Greyhounds have held them in check with 0 points.
Yeah, Koerner having a great game so far. Starts off the first drive with a 26-yard read option to get the game started, and that was early into the game. I think it was about 2 minutes into the game, so Carmel getting started strong and getting started fast, and that's what they needed to do. Put the Centerville team away early and move on.
Well, and since then, the Greyhounds have been in full control. As you can tell, reflected by the scoreboard, it is 28-0, and it might not even be that close in the real game. Just every single ball that Koerner throws seems to be in the bucket for Jake Bellin, over the top, to the side. Bellin has had a monster game so far, and we can expect it to continue, I think.
Yeah, as we mentioned about Bellin in the pregame, he's kind of started to earn that starting role, and he's doing it even more this game. He's showing that he is the go-to target for Koerner, and that's what he needed. I don't feel like he really had that last season, but this season he does in Bellin. So I think that's a great option for them to have, but they still have that dual threat with that run game.
Yeah, interestingly enough, to take it a little other way, I love what Coach Wright's done so far. You can see it's 28-0, but that doesn't faze Wright. Wright has been very aggressive so far this game. Anytime that the Greyhounds really get out there on 4th down, and it's not 4th and a million, Coach Wright decides to go for it. And I think I really actually love the aggression from him so far, and it's really worked so far too.
Yeah, I love that out of Coach Wright. He's a new coach, and he's bringing a new mentality to this team. They want to score as many points as possible. We understand this isn't the greatest Centerville team, but they want to score, and they want to put points up. They want to make a statement to the rest of the schools in Hamilton County and in Indiana that they've come to play, and they want to challenge for that state title. And I think going for it on 4th down, they've gone for it 3 times. The farthest they went was 4th and 5, and I think they just want to prove a point and score as many points as possible, especially with Coach Wright. I think that's his game plan and his mentality. I think that's why he's such a good coach.
And I think at the end of the day, Carmel's sick of being little brother. I mean, as of late, they've only won 3 games last year. And if this one continues, they're going to be 3-0 through the first 3 games of the season. So Carmel's kind of sick of everyone else disrespecting them. And, you know, you go out here, you put 60 points on the board, that's going to teach everyone that don't mess with the Greyhounds.
Yeah, I think we need to flip to the other side of the ball and talk about Carmel's stellar defense so far in this game. I mean, they've been spectacular. Obviously, the offense gets all the hype and all the focus, but I think we need to bring more attention to this Carmel defense and the way they played.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we've kind of dogged on Centerville a little bit, but they really aren't the greatest team. Last game, they only threw for 2 completions, and it's not been that shut down, but the quarterback has really not had really anything. He's had a couple of 12-yard gains, maybe here and there, where linebackers have blasted receivers and the receivers have been able to hold on to the ball, but there really hasn't been much good for the Elks offense so far.
Yeah, like you mentioned, there's just nothing much to talk about for the Elks. Obviously, I don't want to sit here and dog on them, but they're going to need to figure something out if they want to try and get back into this game, because they haven't really got anything going except for a couple 1st downs. They had 1 drive where they were able to put 2 1st downs together, and it looked a little bit dangerous and maybe a chance for a comeback, but Carmel's defense stifled that attack, and it's just stopped the Elks from doing anything else in this game.
Yeah, I also want to go back to what Connell was talking about earlier, and I want to highlight that 26-yard rushing touchdown from Koerner. I think his dual threat ability has been stellar. Like, last year, he really was only a runner and didn't make the right decisions while throwing the ball. This year, he's really done both, and I think the added rushers in Pemberton and Johnson have also really helped so far to get this rushing attack just destroying everybody.
Yeah, I think that's what Carmel needed from Koerner going into the season, was get the throwing game going. Obviously, we know he has a great rushing attack, but he needs to get that throwing game going if they want to succeed.
Well, that'll do it for us in your CHTV halftime show. I'm Simon Kahn, here with my co-host, Connell McDonough. We'll send it to Brendan Melby and Xavier Knott.
Alex, good job.
And we are back for the second half of the Carmel Greyhounds versus the Centerville Elks. Thank you, Connell and Simon, for that halftime report, as it was a great one for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, I personally enjoy listening to that band at halftime. They're a pretty darn good band, I gotta say.
I mean, yeah, for as big of a school as we go to, so many band members, so many instruments, seem like quite the operation getting it on and off the field, but it is absolutely worth it because, I mean, that's what football's all about. It's not just the scoreboard, it's not just the players and the big plays, which is a huge part about it. I mean, it's just the environment. It's hanging out with your friends, it's listening to the band, it's cheering, waving around your rally towels, or it looks like we have some Raising Cane's noisemakers in the crowd tonight.
They gave up to the student section the Bam Bams? Is that what you called them earlier?
That's what whatever you want to call them. I call them Bam Bams. Those whatever two rubber balloonish pulls that you hit together.
Handing them out to the student section for free tonight, I think.
Yeah, I mean the fans are loving it, as it is another great show out tonight for the Greyhound student section, as Shamrocks was almost the best student section I have ever seen at my time in Carmel, as this one packed again for the tropical theme. I mean, you see colorful leis all around. I will say the temperature has dropped a little bit for it being tropical theme.
It's definitely not the weather you wanted for tropical theme. It's a little chilly up right now. Kind of want a coat.
Yeah, fans seem unbothered right now, though, as all they could do is just keep moving, keep cheering, work up a sweat, as the team is doing for their entertainment. As we are going to have 3 minutes added on to this half before kickoff. So we're only going to have to wait and see when kickoff actually is, because they never seem to have the time situated for this second half.
Should just be prepared for them to add 3 more minutes when the clock ticks down to 0. They started at 15, give them 15 minutes for halftime. Let's get ready to go. We don't need 3 more minutes.
Yeah, Greyhounds still seem to be staying loose, though. So they're doing some warm-up.
They also have the coaches, part of the Carmel coaching staff, positioned up on a platform in the top left corner of the stands, in case you're wondering where they're situated without the press box this year.
Yeah, a lot of different things going. Oh, and speaking of scoreboard, we do apologize for us unable to have a scoreboard for the Shamrocks game, and in this first half, we will be trying it again for the second half. Hopefully it is functioning. If not, we assure you guys that we will get it up and going at some point in this season.
Still working out some of the kinks early in the season. He's got an extra week to prepare before our next home game.
Yeah, I mean, this is 2 home games in a row. So as they had that first away game at Fishers, but a couple at home. There are 5 home games and only 4 away games, so it makes sense to pack in a few home games.
Hounds at Trinity next week. That's down in Louisville. They've had a pretty even series with Trinity the past couple of years.
Yeah, now that's going to be a tougher game. I could only imagine. I mean, this Greyhound team is unbelievable. I mean, they're looking to go 3-0, as you said, for the first time since 2014.
Really good.
So obviously a really good team, but Trinity will also be a tough opponent.
Really goes to show what one change in the head coaching position can do to a team.
Yeah, Coach Kevin Wright has been the talk of the season that we mentioned all the time against that game against the Shamrocks. I mean, he's making himself feel home, though, which he has been here earlier. But, yeah, I mean, this should be the Greyhounds coach for a long time, so I'm just taking it all in. This is unbelievable.
Probably should be his job until he wants to leave.
Yeah, but Coach Kevin Wright, certainly a great game plan in this first half. Hopefully they're able to learn from the mistakes that they had against Westfield in the third quarter. And hopefully the Greyhounds are able to stay on the gas throughout the rest of this game as they run out onto the field to kick this ball off, as it will be the Centerville Elks starting off this half with the ball, hopefully trying to get off to a better start.
And even if Centerville does score a couple times, Carmel has a little more cushion in terms of score rather than they did last week. They have 8 more points going into the third quarter, 28 this week compared to 20 last week.
Absolutely. As the sideline is swaying, getting hyped for their special teams as Obermeyer boots this one off towards the left side, as that is returned by Centerville, running towards the right sideline, and is tripped up and falls down around the 25-yard line. So here we see the Carmel Greyhounds defense yet again, as they had a great first half, holding Centerville to 0 points. Centerville, on the other hand, trying to make some more stuff going for them. I mean, they had a few good plays. Parker Johnson, their go-to running back, some strong runs. Shane Cole, some third down conversions. But overall, if you don't put any points on the board, it's worthless. So they're trying to make something happen, get some points on this board.
They've really only had one true shot at getting points. The 4th and 5 when they were around the 35-yard line of Carmel. The Carmel pressure came quickly. Cole really didn't have anywhere to go and threw it short. That was really the only time they've been in threatening position to score.
Yeah, I mean, they could have taken a shot for the field goal, but they need to come back, so they went for the 4th down, but was unable to get it, as this ball is pitched to Johnson, who gets a gain of 4 yards. I mean, yeah, it's certainly hard to get something going for your offense when you're going against this Carmel Greyhounds defense, along with the roaring student section, who all night have been on their feet, jumping up and down, making noise, as we just saw as they were running onto the field. As this is a short completion to Colton Burleson, who has a few receptions, as he is tackled, but still able to get the first down.
Centerville starting their first drive of the second half with 2 pretty positive and well drawn up plays.
As Cole takes this snap, fakes the pitch this time to Johnson, keeps it for himself, unable to run anywhere as he's taken down by the Greyhounds. As all they're doing is just celebrating at this point. They look like they're having a lot of fun with this game.
Well, that play worked on early in the first quarter and got them 8 yards, I think, but really has not been effective since.
Cole throws it to his right side. That's short completion again to Burleson. The Greyhounds still 0 sacks tonight. You're talking about, I'm surprised Bathurst hasn't got in there. There's been a whole lot of quarterback pressures. Not a whole lot from Bathurst. But the Greyhounds force another 3rd down, this time 3rd and 7 for Centerville. As Cole takes this snap, looks to his left, pressured by Dickerson as he airs that ball up towards the left sideline as it's incomplete. Michael Ghosh bumped into Swanson as some players on Centerville wants a flag, but the refs do not call it, as it was soft contact, also possibly uncatchable, as that ball was very far down the left sideline.
That ball looked like it was out of bounds and uncatchable. Probably why the ref didn't throw out the pass interference flag on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. As the punt for Centerville looks a little smoother, as this ball is fair caught by Bellin. As you saw, you could see Jake Bellin was a little more up than he has been, able to fair catch that one. So that Centerville couldn't get a lucky bounce because their punts have been shorter than most. As the Greyhounds are going to begin their drive on the 34-yard line, as they got a quick stop, so 10 minutes remaining in this third quarter. As it's Pemberton in the backfield to start this drive and start this half. As there's a motion over, but this ball's handed up the middle to Pemberton, who's able to get a 5-yard gain out of that one. So this will bring up 2nd and 5 for the Greyhounds. They're typically good at those short downs. As Koerner throws off to the right side. That's completed to Jake Bellin, who has some room to run. He might score, and he does. Or was he taken out of bounds? We do not have a good angle on this one. But Bellin, an unbelievable play, as that was just a short pass for the first down. He got some lead blockers, able to hit the hole, juke a couple defenders, and was taken down at the 21-yard line for a huge gain. As this is a quick snap by the Greyhounds, ran up the middle, just shy of the end zone. The Greyhounds are driving right now as Jake Bellin is having an unbelievable game going back to that reception and long run after the catch.
It looked like it was just going to be a short option play for Bellin. I mean, what was probably meant to just be a short play.
Koerner throws it to his left to Spencer Sell, who gets his touchdown for tonight. This brings the Carmel Greyhounds lead 34-0. A little bit of everybody getting a touchdown tonight. Koerner has a rushing touchdown. Pemberton has a rushing touchdown. Sell gets his receiving touchdown. Carson Clark gets a receiving touchdown. And who was that? Was Shockley. Shockley in the back of the end zone was
Koerner,
the 5th touchdown.
Koerner, Pemberton, Clark. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, almost everyone on the offense is getting a piece
spreading the ball
of the
around.
score as this kick smacks the scoreboard, as it is good for the extra point. So 35-0, Centerville in a deep, deep hole.
I mean, the rest of the second half is really going to show how much fight and pride Centerville is going to have. It's going to be pretty disappointing. 2.5-hour bus ride home to the Dayton area. Drove all the way over here, down 35-0. Less than 3 minutes into the third quarter. Elks back on the field, ready to return this kickoff, but not a ton of happiness or excitement is exactly booming out of that sideline.
Yes, Centerville, after losing a few players, seem to be struggling. I mean, they have a lot to prove after going to the semifinals last year. This time, struggling to start the season. Again, not an easy schedule, as we're talking about St. X and their other opponents. And the Carmel Greyhounds are clearly not an easy opponent to beat either.
Well, the Greyhounds have their highest ranking in the USA Today poll, number 2 in the state of Indiana since the 2022 preseason poll.
As this ball kicked towards the middle of the end zone, as Zaire Alston leaves that one behind. So Centerville will start their drive at the 20-yard line with 9 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in this third quarter. As the Centerville offense runs onto the field. As you see the same guys out there for the Greyhounds. Defense, who has had a great game so far, continues to hold Centerville to 0 points as this ball is pitched to Johnson. A strong tackle by Bathurst around the head a little bit, but takes him down strong and hits a little celebration after stopping Johnson short.
This Centerville offense is looking pretty stagnant as of late. Like we were talking about before we came back to half. Really only one threatening drive so far. 2nd and 8 right now.
As Cole takes a snap, looks to his right, completes the throw,
Burleson again.
Again to Burleson. I mean, Burleson's having a game for having 0 catches against St. Xavier. I mean, he's been the best player for Centerville's offense. He's catching the ball when needed to. Surprised Cole hasn't thrown a little more. I mean, he has much more completions than he did against St. Xavier in that previous game. As he takes this snap but throws to the right. That time Swanson is tackled short of the first down. So this is going to bring up 4th and 2 as they bring out their punting crew. I mean, they are on the 28-yard line, so that probably is the right move, but there is not a lot of time to come back in this game if there even is a chance, as there is only 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining as the Greyhounds lead 35-0.
Yeah, definitely don't.
As there's a flag that I believe is going to be against the Elks. So this only pushes them back, making it a harder punt and probably giving the Greyhounds better field position to start their drive.
Just a barrage of mistakes from the Elks. Even if they don't make some of those mistakes, are they going to be in this game? Not necessarily, but it definitely could be a lot closer.
As the punt
does not even reach back to midfield.
Yeah, I will say the wind has calmed down, but still blowing a little bit south, kicking into the wind is not easy. So that is another short punt. So the Greyhounds, good field position to start the game as they will be on the Centerville 46-yard line, trying to stack some more points on the board. As this clock has been running for a minute, as the Greyhounds will start this drive with 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. As, oh my goodness, Jackson Treadway, the junior quarterback, in for Anthony Koerner. With the Greyhounds' big lead that they have, they're trying something new as they hand this ball off, this time to Josiah Gilmore. So the Greyhounds throwing in some backups as they hand that ball off to the junior running back, Josiah Gilmore, for his first carry tonight. He got a couple against Fishers, but did not get one against Westfield. So it's interesting to see them trying something new as they go back to Gilmore, who gets a few yards out of that one. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Greyhounds.
It looks like the Hounds might be calling off the dogs for right now. It took out Koerner, took out Pemberton and Johnson.
Still have Shockley out there, but Treadway throws to his right side. This one's going to be caught. Open field and a touchdown for Aleem Broadnox, the sophomore wide receiver. Oh my goodness, is this Greyhound offense deep or what? They bring out the backups, and Aleem able to get his first touchdown of the season.
Boy, just a one little cut outright, cut back through the middle, up the left. Wonderful throw from Treadway. Incredibly fast run from Broadnax. Hounds, guess they're not calling off the dogs.
That was pretty. Maybe just everyone's dogs, because with Obermeyer's kick being good, in the scoreboard again, this gives the Greyhounds 42 to Centerville 0. Unbelievable game for the Greyhounds so far.
This is a pretty lackluster performance from the Elks so far. First 2 games of the season, lost 35-20. Not awful, not great. Then the second game, only had 109 total yards, lost 20-7, and down 42-0 right now. They're surely in a hole to start the season.
Yeah, last season the Greyhounds played against Centerville, and they won that game 44-23. This time they're already up 42-0, and I don't think they're finished. So, I mean, you could just see how much of a difference this Carmel Greyhounds team is, if you couldn't tell already by them beating Fishers and Westfield. But they are only a quarter and a half away from going up 3-0. as this time they bring out Aaron Orahood for the kickoff. He is also a senior, but he plays backup to Matthew Obermeyer. See how good of a leg he has. As it's looking good. Booted to the 5-yard line. That one received by Zaire Alston, who's trying to get some room to run. Tackled down at the 25-yard line. So Centerville starts this drive with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
I mean, the Hounds are bringing out all of their second stringers. The quarterback, the running back, even the kicker are all in now.
Yeah, the defense still keeping some starters out there.
Bathurst is not on the field.
Bathurst is not on the field. They still have Dickerson. They still have Madison. They still have Ghosh.
Not really a ton of reason in a 42-0 game to keep him on.
Yeah, still trying. Oh my gosh, this ball is aired out by Cole as a DB falls to the ground. But Centerville still tripped up a little bit and unable to get the catch.
I think they're going to give number 20 on Centerville offensive pass interference. It looked like he just shoved the defender shoved Ghosh to the ground.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was wondering if there was going to be flag on the play, but it looks like this is going to go against the Greyhounds. So Centerville gets to move up a little bit as they are now at the 41-yard line for 1st and 10.
Boy, I'm not sure about that DPI. Looked like it was an OPI.
Yeah, who did they call it against?
Like
was it Madison, 31? As Cole's looking to his left, he airs this one out again. This time it's caught by Swanson, but they call it incomplete as he was just out of bounds. Unbelievable defense by the Greyhounds. Denham Madison hits him out of bounds as Swanson made the great catch, but unable to stay in. Wow, great job by Madison to get over there and force Swanson out of bounds.
Would have been nice. Would have been a nice catch if Swanson was able to get his feet in bounds. Looked like he was pretty close, but did not get both feet in.
Yeah, but as we see from Shane Cole, starting to throw the ball a little more. I mean, not much to lose right now as it's worked for them on that DPI this time. Almost a completion, but out of bounds. This time they go back to the run, up the middle. Parker Johnson again, who's tackled short, as there's some Centerville players on the ground after the play. A little bit of scrappiness. Centerville is not happy, talking to the ref right now. As Centerville keeps their offense so far, as it's still Shane Cole out there for quarterback, Parker Johnson in the backfield. As this brings up another 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Cole, a quick throw to the right side, and it's intercepted! Intercepted by Michael Ghosh, who got his first start of varsity in his high school career. Michael Ghosh fired up, flexed, and run into the sideline, chest bumping with Anthony Koerner. Michael Ghosh, unbelievable, as we talked about our very own crew member for CHTV. He got his first start with Grayson George being out tonight and takes advantage of it and gets an interception. Hey. Oh my, Michael Ghosh.
CHTV's own Michael Ghosh. First interception of his varsity career.
Yeah, our CHTV tent is definitely hyped up right now.
Saw a lot of fist pumps. A lot of fist pumps and claps from the CHTV tent for Ghosh over there.
Great moment for Ghosh.
Carmel just running down the clock.
Yeah, as this is going to bring the 4th quarter up as they let the clock run out. So the Greyhounds lead 42-0 going into the 4th quarter, as it appears it will be the backups again, as Treadway ran out there, as Josiah Gilmore was in the backfield.
The Hounds also have a big enough. The Hounds also have a big enough lead to now the clock will continue to run and no longer stop. So expect this fourth quarter to go by pretty quick.
Yeah, I was unaware of that rule, I must say. I mean, if you think this is a big lead, I mean that tells you enough. As it is 12 minutes for this final quarter. As Xavier Knott said, that it's probably going to go by pretty fast. As it's Treadway who goes out there. Wide receivers are Brodniks again. As we also have 23 Carson Clark staying out there, as he is still also only a sophomore. This ball is handed off, tackled short. I apologize, that was Treadway, the ball carrier. Not very many places to go as he loses 2 yards on that one. As the student section was strong all night long, this time it's a bit of a blowout, starting to clear out a little bit. Definitely some loyal fans, though, sticking around for the whole thing, watching the backups as Treadway airs this ball out as it is caught. It is caught. The Greyhounds will not stop. The backups are going off as well, as that is Aiden Carpenter, the freshman wide receiver, with that catch. Unbelievable. Climbs the ladder for that tough catch, as these backups are having some moments for themselves. As it appears
Timeout is called. Injury timeout, possibly. Trainers are out on the field.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
34.
I did not see a team call a timeout, but both teams are certainly huddling up right now, as there is 11 minutes left in this game as the Greyhounds continue to drive, trying to stack on to the 42-0 lead that they already have. As some older guys are in that huddle, hyping up their younger guys, as you see Pemberton talking to some of the younger players, as you now have Josiah Gilmore and Max Knutson, probably the two running backs for the rest of this game, as Gilmore goes out there again, who's in the backfield behind Treadway. Carpenter to the left side alone again, as it's Clark and Brodniks to the right. As this ball is handed off to Gilmore. Gilmore breaks the tackle, able to get a big gain out of that one. Gilmore just attacks it down the left side, breaks one tackle, and able to get a few more yards after that.
I mean, Gilmore broke 2 or 3 tackles on that play. Met 2 or 3 yards into his run and just kept running. Did not stop. Gain of 11 on the play.
Yeah, the junior's an absolute athlete, so he expect him to break a lot of tackles, as Treadway tries to get Centerville to jump, as a couple linebackers did, but no flag on the play. As there's now 10 minutes remaining in this quarter, as Treadway takes a snap on the 1st and 10, hands this one off to Gilmore again, who's juking around, goes up the right side, and Gilmore is in for a touchdown. The Greyhounds now lead 48-0, as that is their 7th touchdown, as 7 different players now have a touchdown in this game.
Boy, I'd like to go back and look at the games from the recent years when the last time Carmel scored this many points in one game was. Certainly feels like it's been a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're just having fun at this point. The backups gained their moment, as that was junior Josiah Gilmore with his first touchdown. As this extra point is blocked. Wow, so first drive besides the one going into halftime that the Greyhounds are unable to get 7 points, still able to get the touchdown. But the extra point, which was Obermeyer kicking the extra point, but that one's blocked.
That might have been Centerville's most impressive play of the night. which if blocking an extra point is your best play of the night, that generally ensures you're not having a terrific game.
Yeah, Centerville still 0 points in this game. You just gotta, if you're them, you just gotta hope to put up any points on the board, as there is now only 9 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in this game. Not a whole lot of time to put points on the board, but they're gonna keep their main guys out there for this kickoff.
I think you just like to hit, at this point, any points on the board. Just stop the bleeding, I mean, a little bit. You're already down 48-0. You're gonna already go home on a pretty deflated bus ride, but might as well end the game trying to get a touchdown.
Yeah, I mentioned that the Greyhounds' goal for this half would be to stay on that gas. I'm sure Coach Wright talked about that, as I talked about in that Westfield game, that they struggled a little bit in that third quarter, but the Greyhounds have been staying on the gas throughout this entire game, never given Centerville even a chance to do anything, even give them any hope. So I could only imagine that they're going to continue to do that throughout this game, as Alston returns this one, as he is tackled by about 5 different Greyhounds. Some backups again there. As the Greyhounds defense runs out to the field, now they bring out a whole lot of backups after Michael Gauch's interception. He got his moment. Though it appears that he will be on the sideline for this drive, as we have Easton Stacy, the sophomore cornerback, who's coming in for him. Standing at 5'7", but he is a fighter. Wow, runs this one up the middle. Johnson takes it straight at Madison. A little bit head-to-head contact, it appears, as there was a flag on the field. I mean, there was certainly a whole lot of contact there on that run, as they call it against Madison. I mean, Madison was low, trying to get that tackle, as Johnson dove head first into him.
Looks like they gave Madison a personal foul.
Yeah,
that's going to be a 15-yard penalty on the Hounds.
Wow. I mean, I was a little bit more concerned about Madison's well-being, as Johnson took it hard at him, but Madison a little too low on that one. Got the head-to-head contact with the ball carrier, so that is going to be a penalty against the Greyhounds. So this brings up 1st and 10 for Centerville on their own 45-yard line.
And it also looks, looking into the lights, it appears to have started raining here in Carmel. That might explain as why the student section is starting to empty out.
They pitch this ball off to Swanson, who is tackled strongly, this time by number 8. Rhodes, the senior, with that one. So yeah, the backups continue to hold up their end of this Greyhounds performance, as
I mean,
they're in there a lot.
If you can throw what looks to be mostly second stringers and backups into the game and still hold what also looks to be almost all of Centerville's first stringers still on the field to 0 points for the rest of the quarter, I'd say you're pretty set.
Yeah, but Centerville able to get a completion on that one to Chase Carlson, number 23, or I'm sorry, number 24 for them. Kind of similar to the Greyhounds, number 23, Carson Clark. Different guy, though. As this ball's handed off to Johnson on the 3rd and 3, as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So this will bring up another 4th down for the Centerville Elks.
I mean, might as well go for it.
Yeah, nothing to lose at this point. That time,
punting's not going to get you anywhere.
Kentrell Watson, the D lineman in there, who pulled out a little bit of celebrations after that stop.
And this doesn't look like it's raining too hard. Just a light little sprinkle so far.
Yeah, but it looks like the Elks are going to go for it on 4th and 4 as Cole is looking to throw to his right side, which he does, and he makes a completion. A good stop and go by number 18 for the Elks, Josh Becker.
Becker, the only player to have a positive yard catch last week against Xavier. St. Xavier had that 28-yard touchdown catch.
Yeah, and if it didn't clear out a little bit already, more and more people clearing out with this rain, but it's still, student section still looks solid for a 48-0 game with only 5 minutes remaining. Cole looking to throw, he's pressured, he airs that one ball out far as it is.
Boy, that ball was caught.
By Centerville.
Number 9, Ryan Swanson.
Great catch there. Maybe a little too little, too late.
23-yard.
But Centerville is driving down to the 11-yard line.
Boy, that looked like might have been intercepted. Cole was rolling to his left and threw all the way back across his body outside the right hash. But really nice catch from number 9, Ryan Swanson.
Yeah, very nice throw and very nice catch as well. As you said, running the opposite way as Cole takes this and he's looking to throw again, which he does. That time overthrown out of bounds. So you're going to bring up 2nd and 10 on the 11-yard line with only 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this game. As Xavier said, the clock will continue to run even though it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, the receiver didn't even really attempt to actually catch that ball. It was definitely overthrown, a little too high, a little too far.
Yeah, but they're going to get a couple more shots at it as it is only 2nd down. 2nd and 10 as Cole still has Johnson in his backfield. This time he looks to his left. Oh my goodness, that ball is incomplete. Short throw to Thompson Isaiah, the sophomore. Young mishaps as that ball was just like short throw to the left side, almost a screen pass as he was unable to catch it as it bounces off his left, then his right hand for an incomplete.
Ball didn't look like it was a little too far out of his reach. Did get both hands on it though, so probably should have come down with that ball.
Yeah, but they get another chance as a 3rd and 10 at the 11-yard line. Cole's pressured, but makes a throw up the middle. Dangerous pass between 2 Greyhound defenders,
like
but it drops to the ground for an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and it looked like that pass was broken up by safety Denham Madison, who already had that other really good pass breakup down on the end zone closer to us at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Madison has been a solid receiver or solid defender for the Greyhounds this whole season. I mean, he got some playing time against the Shamrocks last week, and he did some good things. As Centerville is going to go for it on 4th and 10. Nothing to lose, but they could possibly have a scoreless game if they don't get this one. As Cole's rolling out to the left, looking for a man to throw to as he's pressured, and he is taken down out of bounds as he can do nothing but just throw it off to the side. As it is a turnover on downs. The Greyhounds stay holding Centerville to 0 points as they keep their lead 48-0 with only 2 minutes remaining in this game.
And Cole ran to his left right as that play started. He was looking, couldn't find anybody. Made one defender miss, but that Carmel defensive line was already over there. Forced him out of bounds, just had to throw it into the dirt at that point.
As the Greyhounds are now a couple of kneels away from securing this huge win to go up 3-0 for the first time since 2014.
Hounds now out there in victory formation.
As it's Jackson Treadway who will be taking the kneel. As they're just letting the clock run as much as it can as there's now 6 seconds on the play clock. 1 minute left on the game clock. As Treadway takes a kneel. As they're going to let this clock run down until there's less than 40 seconds remaining, and then they will take their final kneel as some of the student section still jumping, dancing around as the sideline is feeling the energy as well, waving some towels, jumping around, dancing. As you see, Ashton Al-Fayed, Drew Pemberton having some fun on the sideline as well. As Treadway set to take the final kneel of the game, which he does. So the Carmel Greyhounds defeat the Centerville Elks 48-0, giving them a 3-0 start to the season.
It really is incredible what Kevin Wright has been able to do, come in his second tenure in Carmel. Carmel only won 3 games last year, was 3-7, won 1 home game, and already this year have matched their win total from last year, 3-0, already won more home games than they did last year. It's great to be a Greyhound right now.
Absolutely, 48-0. That is unlike anything I've seen from the Greyhounds, a huge win for them. And Centerville has a lot to clean up throughout this season as they drop to 0-3. But nonetheless, the Greyhounds are a great football team. Coach Wright turned this program around. Koerner having a better season. The wide receiver core super deep. As we saw the backups, I mean, this crew could go on forever. I mean, as we saw, Michael Ghosh had to sub in for Grayson George, who was out tonight, and he got an interception. The backups are good. The starters are great. The Carmel Greyhounds are a football team. As we are going to pass this over to Connell and Simon for the post-game show. I've been Brendan Melby alongside Xavier Knott. We'll see you at the next Carmel Greyhounds home game.
Welcome to the CHTV post-game show. I'm Simon Kahn here with Connell McDonough, and the game is over and the Greyhounds have won 48-0.
Yeah, Carmel with a great performance here, trying to put a statement here against the Centerville team. They go 3-0 to start the season, first time since 2014, and they look dangerous this year. This win will probably move them up into number 2 in the rankings. But I think the main thing we need to talk about is Carmel put their second strings in with 5 minutes, 5.5 left in the third quarter. That's how confident they were, and they wanted to see the young players play.
Yeah, games like this are just really cool because it's a really big opportunity for lots of players who don't really get much playing time to get in there and make plays. We saw lots of plays from players who typically don't get a play. We saw a touchdown from Jackson Treadway to Aleem Broadnex, 2 players who really haven't gotten to play this year. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we got to see Michael Ghosh, CHTV member, get an interception, which is also really cool. So it's just really awesome to see players who don't get playing time. It's really cool to see them get in the game and play really well.
Yeah, I think that's a big takeaway. As the young players got to play, and we kind of got to see a little preview of Carmel's next year's team. And I think these players under Coach Wright can develop and become great players. And I think Carmel can continue and kind of continue to build a little dynasty here with this team, with how well the second team played. I mean, the second team made Centerville team look like JV in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the Greyhounds dominated every facet of today's ball game. And at the end of the day, there's really not anything much to nitpick really at all. There's a couple plays here and there, but at the end of the day, it's high school football, and you really can't be any more happy with the Greyhounds' performance tonight. They are now 3-0 on the season. Next week, they will travel to Trinity in Louisville for an away game.
Yeah, if Carmel can win that game and go 4-0 on this season, I definitely think they are the second favorite behind Brownsburg to win state this year. But, I mean, Carmel was in victory formation with 1.5 minutes left in this game. I mean, Coach Wright, after going for all the 4th downs, was respectful to end the game, and that's why I love to see the sportsmanship. That's what we need to see here, and because ultimately it is still high school football. But I do think Carmel looks great to end the season, but Centerville here to start the season 0-3. That's not good looks. I mean, they have played great teams so far to start the season, but they need to figure something out if they want to make something out of this season.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, with Coach Wright, the sky is the limit right now. As Connell's talking about, you know, Greyhounds 3-0, and he's saying that they're able to contend for a state title, and he's really right. really seem to be many teams out here that are better than Carmel, as the Greyhounds have started off the season spectacularly.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Carmel coming into this game is fourth in the state behind Brownsburg,
Center Grove,
and New Powell. And I think this win will bump them up to number 2 in the state with how Treadway is playing, with how this offense is flowing, the dual threat on the air and the ground. I think this will be a great team for the rest of the season.
Well, that'll do it for us. I've been Simon Kahn, here with Connell McDonough, and this has been your CHTV coverage of Carmel High School football.